Hello E-Monkeyians, it's E-Monk here, and today we are going over the shorts, the Harley Quinn shorts. Now the best way whenever you are cutting or making these shorts, right is red, blue is left. This is both spandex fabric that I found at Hobby Lobby. You can get it for $5 a yard, so let's get started. First thing, it's easier to go ahead and get a pair of shorts that fit you snugly and do about a ½ inch to a full inch all the way around for seam allowance. When you cut out your template, you're going to cut the back piece and the front piece and just pick one side. Just remember which side you want that side to be facing. Otherwise, you're going to mess up whenever you go to cut these out and lay them against each other. So remember, right is red, left is blue. Cut these out and just copy it straight over. After you cut out your red, go over to your blue, and you're going to do the same thing. Just put your red on top of your blue and make sure that the correct sides are facing each other, and pin it with bobby pins, that way it doesn't move anywhere, and chalk it out and just cut around it. And later on I'll show you how to make a crotch piece. This is very essential before you sew these up. I'm just showing you how to cut these individual templates out. You need a back piece and a front piece, and that's the easiest way as far as this part goes. Next, I'm showing you where you can connect the pieces together, and that way you can see roughly what they would look like together. And here's the front. And I used about 3 different types of stitching just so I can make sure it stays together. Now on to the crotch piece. Now I use a rectangular shape instead of a diamond. It's easier for me. And you want the width of how wide in between your crotch that you need, and then you also need the length of how far back it goes as well. Just measure yourself out and give yourself about a ½ inch to an inch seam allowance, and that's going to go straight in the middle. These are the old shorts that you see from before in my first video. And then this is me showing you how to attach the crotch piece. Sorry, my camera doesn't like to focus very well. And as you can see, I just bobby pinned it to the actual short pieces because that's easier to do, and then you go back later and sew together the middle. So leave that open for now before you connect it to the other side. You're only going to attach it to the actual shorts. That way it makes the leg pieces. Do the same for the blue. And then here are your shorts once you have connected them fully together. And as you can see, it wasn't that hard. It was a little difficult for me at first considering this was my first pair. But once I got the hang of it, it wasn't that bad. This is me opening it up and showing you how I did the red side and the blue side, that way you can see it. And I'm just going to go back and trim it just a little bit so that way it fits me perfectly. And then after I do that, I'm showing you where I'm going to hem. But you're going to hem along the legs. That way they have nice closed stitching, and so it doesn't also rip. And you're also going to want to do it along the waistline. And here I'm showing you the stitching. I actually used a clear coat transparency thread. You can get this at Hobby Lobby for about $3. It is very worth it when it comes to Harley Quinn type fabrics, simply because it's easier to use clear, considering that it's very hard to go back and forth between the two colors. And here I'm just measuring out some ribbon that I could put on the inside. I didn't have any elastic, so I decided to use ribbon, that way I can tie it. And I gave myself about 3 inches extra just so I can tie it in a bow, and also I can adjust it as I lose weight or gain. And here I'm cutting a hole to start putting in the ribbon and cutting an outside hole, and I'm going to put it on a safety pin, and then I'm going to thread it through the fabric that way. It's a lot easier this way. And then at the end I'm going to take the safety pin off after I tie it a little bit. Trust me, you want to tie it because you don't want to lose it. And then I'm going to fix the ends by cutting off the excess and using a lighter to close it off. Very simple, very easy. I hope y'all enjoy this tutorial. Please stay tuned for aftercare as far as this one goes. If you have any questions or comments, please get a hold of me down below, and don't forget to check my Patreon and pledge to me for exclusive content. And I will see y'all later. Happy cosplaying. And this you could just throw in the washer, and I would suggest hang drying this. Actually, I would not put it in the dryer, because since spandex has a elasticy type fabric, you want to keep that elasticity. So I would suggest hang dry it too, and put it in the mesh bag as well. Might as well do the same instructions with the shirt. Do all your costumes that way, trust me. Alright, and that one you technically can wash in hot water, but it's harder on the clothes if you do it that way, so I wouldn't recommend it. We have the shorts. Da, 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 da. I am very proud of these.